Skip rolling back with what if Deku was a demigod? And let's see where I left off. Alright, it was right after the sludge villain. So yeah. Alright, I have to check the comments for the gods, what the gods' names are going to be. Okay, I just found the names for the dragons. Well, not dragons, but there's 3 names that people chose. Well, not chose, but you know what I mean. But you guys have to choose one of these 3 names. Hakaru, Aurora, or Razor. So yeah. And I gotta go check on the gods now. So, yeah. Okay, so there were only 2 suggestions for gods. And here's the names. Mephisto for the god of... I'm pretty sure the word they used is pretty offensive, but yeah. I'm just gonna say, basically, gay. And if you know the offensive version for that, good for you or bad for you. Whoever works for you. But, yeah. And here's the second one, which I actually like a lot better. The god of stars. Her name is going to be Shiru or his, I forget. I can't say if it's a boy or girl because I don't know if Shiro's a boy or girl name. So, yeah. You guys tell me in the comments. So, yeah. Yeah, I'm going to go out to the kitchen real quick now. So, yeah. Let's continue with the wave. So, Deku is pretty much just going to be... This is going to be right after she beat the sludge villain. And All Might is scolding her and praising her at the same time. So, yeah. Pretty much, he's going to say that you could have got hurt. And you did a great job on defeating him. But you also broke the law. And Deku does a counter by saying he was going to harm me. So I just did it. So I just flew up and he basically grabbed onto my leg. So I basically just blasted him with the weakest thing I could do. And All Might was basically saying, that was the weakest? And Deku said, yeah. I mean, seriously, that was only like 4%. And he's basically just having an idea he's basically having an idea to give her all for one. But wait, is that all for one? No, it's one for all. Sorry. I always do that mistake. It's pretty late for me. It's 4 a.m. But yeah. Pretty much Deku is just going to be walking home after that. All Might doesn't stop her because he realizes that 4% of her strength equals 16% of his. So, yeah. And he's only at 20% right now. So, and he's only able to go to 20%. So, yeah. She's a beast. Basically, she is way above 10 times stronger than All Might. But yeah. Pretty much, Deku is just going to be trying to become a hero in this what if. Yeah, I know that I prefer doing villains, but I'm doing this because no reason. And sorry that I said that because I am pretty tired. But yeah. Pretty much, Deku is just going to be walking home. That sludge villain attack doesn't happen on Bakugo. And, yeah, she just goes to UA, Oh wait, there's a 10 months training period, but she pretty much just does nothing. But she found out how to go back to the camp. Essentially, there's just this little portal in her closet. No, not in her closet, but that her dragon can make. And it leads to the, basically to the mythical forest with all the mermaids, unicorns, minotaurs, set dragons, and centaurs. Basically, all of those. And yeah, pretty much it just leads. The dragon can make that at any time it wishes. So yeah, and I'm just going to describe what the dragon's human form looks like. I don't really know at this point, but just go along with it. Pretty much, the dragon's hair is going to be this long, silky white hair. She's basically just going to have like her eyes are going to be this emerald green. And, well, not emerald, but this silverish blue, kind of like mine. But yeah, it's basically going to be this silverish blue. And she's basically, oh, and they're of course going to wear clothes when they're in their human forms. So yeah, and I haven't decided what gender it's going to be. So yeah, it's either going to be, just going to be it's going to be a 50-50 split. It can choose to be a boy, it can choose to be a girl. That's all I'm going to say. It's basically both. Because there is actually rare occurrences in nature where animals do have both genders at the same time. So, yeah. Pretty much Deku is going to say, yeah, well, no. That basically the dragon's going to ask why, Deku wanted to come here. And she just said to train. And basically, yeah, the dragon basically says, alright. And what's happening in the other world? Well, basically what's happening in the God's domain is, I'm saying, I'm saying that there's a lot of good things happening on Earth right now. Just smiling and drinking some pop. And yeah. Deku's father hadn't even come up with a name for them. So, yeah. Just going to go with, I guess, J. J works for now. So yeah, the god of fire and light is now known as J. But yeah. Pretty much, it's going to go, basically, he's going to be asking me what's going on with his daughter on Earth. And I'm basically just going to be saying, not much, just a little bit of training. And he says, training? She must have awoken her powers. Wait, why didn't you let me know that she awoken her powers? And I basically say, you never asked. And I also just basically, say, if you wanted to know, you could have asked at any moment. And he's basically asking, so, does she have a familiar then? And I say, yep. And basically he asks, what kind of familiar? And I basically say, he won't like it. And he says, what is it? I say, it's a dragon. And he's basically saying, what? His baby girl has a dragon familiar? And I say, yeah. Luckily, I was there to intervene. And he says, why? What did you do? And I say, it's not that big of a deal. And he says, what did you do? I say, I pretty much just connected their souls. And he says, how? And I say, just because. And he's pretty much just furious because this god just disagrees with, this god just, Jay basically just agrees with, dragons. Basically, he hates dragons for whatever reason. I cannot think of the reason right now, but yeah. Pretty much he hates dragons for some reason. Like, it's probably because one of the dragons killed one of his former kin. So, yeah. Pretty much, Deku is just going to be one of the first that a dragon actually liked. And Jay basically asked me, what kind of dragon? And I basically say, it's basically just a white dragon. And he asks, what kind of dragon? And I say, one that has to do with your elements. And he asks, is it fire or light? I say, yes. And he says, light. I say, wrong. Technically, you're right at the same time. And he asks, why? I say, because it's fire and light. And he's basically saying, there hasn't been a dragon with two elements in thousands of years. And I say, well, of course, fate always has a little thing that can surprise you in the end. And he's basically saying, you had something to do with this, right? And I say, uh-huh. I pretty much just tied their souls at birth. They actually were born on the same day. And I'm pretty much just, pretty much just having my hand on, my arm on my, what's it called again? My elbow on the table and hand on my face, basically sighing, because I'm bored already with him. And he's saying, ugh, you really get bored with gods fast, don't you? And I say, of course, I control all fate. I can see every conceivable outcome. So of course I get bored quickly. And he says, fair point. And I basically am just going to be trying to get rid of their fate. I'm basically doing an experiment to see if I can get rid of fate if I mess with someone long enough. Basically, I've been doing this experiment on her for about, since she was born. Basically, I controlled it to a certain point, then cut the line of fate off. So I basically could see what would happen to her without any fate. She could theoretically destroy my story and rise against me and kill me to become the new god of fate. Essentially, that's how the god of fate works. Once a god of fate dies, they have to give up their role to the person who killed them. But they have to basically control them up until they're born, and then drop all fate off of them. So they are fateless. So yeah, just coming up with some, random, mythology? I do not know what to call this. Backstory? That works. So yeah. I'm basically saying, well, that's how it works for any god, so yeah. Once you kill a god, the person who killed them becomes, that god. Because, the more power that human has, the more power that god's going to have. So, yeah. Gods are immortal, but not at the same time. Basically, they can live forever, but they can be killed. Basically, they never age, but they can still be killed. So, yeah. They have way tougher bodies than the human body. I mean, their bodies are way tougher than the human body. I would say about a thin layer, a thick layer of the strongest material in the world besides diamond. So, yeah. Pretty much, they're near invincible. But if someone strong enough occurs, they can kill a god. So, yeah. It's a rare occurrence, mostly demigods. But, yeah. That's how the system works. It's not known for a human to end up becoming a god, but it is possible. That's all I'm saying. It's not heard of, but it is possible. So pretty much, this is really a filler thing. But yeah, back to the story. Essentially, Deku and her dragon is just practicing their magics. Her dragon is working on her fire magic, or his, however. Interchangeable. It's interchangeable at this point, so yeah. And pretty much, her dragon is working on its fire magic, and she's working on her light magic. Basically, those are the two dominant parts of their magics. So, yeah. Deku is pretty much just trying to figure out how to perfectly make light. But she accidentally gets basically once, her dragon says something pretty irritating when she's trying to create a blast, there's a little dark in it. Basically, there's one drop of black in it. And she's asking, how did that get in it? In the light. And her dragon basically says, I don't know. Try doing that again. And she does the blast again. And it's completely white. She's thinking that it's probably when she gets angry that it turns black. Because in the pure souls, there's always darkness. So yeah. Pretty much, Deku is just going to... she's just going to be trying to work on it. And then she realizes, whenever she gets angry, and the blast ends up getting stronger. Because dark and light aren't supposed to mix. Basically, it just creates a blast when it's launched off with regular light, but it's a 10 times bigger blast when it's merged with a little bit of darkness. And she says, that is weird. And Deku tries getting as angry as possible, and then she does it. She creates a spear between her horns, a sphere between her horns with a glowing white, and in the center it's all black. And once she releases it, it becomes uncontrollable. Basically, it starts releasing all at once. She can't control it. It's going throughout all the fields. Her horns, no matter what happens, it goes where she's looking. It's basically just going so... It's going really... It's hard to control. Basically, it's pushing her head down so it can blast more land. The darkness at this point is controlling her. So she realizes she shouldn't do that unless she wants to lose control of her blast and harm people. And once her dragon ends up pushing her head upwards, that basically makes a blast go onto the moon. Well, not onto the moon, but basically makes it go near the moon. And it basically just disperses all at once because there's no target anymore. She realizes that it was trying to guide its way to her dragon. And she basically is just shocked on the raw strength of that blast, but the sheer uncontrollability of it. She might be the demigoddess of light and fire, but there's always some darkness in the light. So yeah, essentially, that's just going to be how that's going to work. And let's get on to the not USJ, but the entrance exams. This all took place in 10 months, by the way. Basically, she has a lot more versatility with her light. Like, I can't think of anything right now, but she can create a lot more things. She even figured out how to weaponize it. And what I mean by that is turn it into weapons. So, yeah. Pretty much, she's just going to, in the exams, she's pretty much just going to be turning her light into a sword. And her fire into a shield. So, yeah. And Ida basically says, why do you have that light sword? Why do you have that light sword and that fire shield? That's cheating. You can't have any outside weapons. And Deku says, this is part of my quirk. As bland as possible. Basically, I had a little to do with that. I basically said, nope. And basically just switched a switch in, Deku's head. Telling her to, I basically, sent a signal to her brain to be as bland, to be not as bland, but to be as blunt as possible with him. Because that's the only way you can get anything through to him at this point, Like, that is the only way to get anything through to him, so yeah. It's basically, I just released a telepathic message to her, just telling her that. And she basically didn't know what just happened, but she just did it anyways. So yeah. Ida pretty much is just going to say, okay, thanks for being blunt with me, I guess. Oh, and she doesn't trip, by the way, because, she was already, she wasn't thinking too much about it or anything, so yeah. Pretty much, Deku is just going to be, she's pretty much just going to go into the exams. She's going to use her sword and basically point it outwards, hold her arm, and then say, release. And it basically releases a lot of light. Basically, she's condensing this light that's coming out of the sword because, yeah, she might have made this sword recently, but it has a lot of light packed into it. Basically, once she released it, it basically became a, what was that called again? A bankai. Yeah, I'm taking something from Bleach. Sue me. Basically becomes a bankai. Basically Ichigo's. So, yeah. pretty much she pretty much becomes way quicker. Like, seriously, he was moving at the speed of light, pretty much, once he got his Bankai, so she's running faster than the speed of light, because she has control over it. But yeah, basically, she destroys every robot in 1 second. So yeah, saving nothing for anyone else. Literally, she would need a private room for, how much, stuff she destroyed. And in the theory exam, she got average. She got average. And that's me really, really upplaying it. Pretty much, she got so close to the bottom that I was nearly not even close to average. Basically, she might not be the smartest. You just imagine a blonde. She's near that level. Because, since she's a goddess, not a goddess, but a demigod, she has an aura around her that attracted boys to her. Pretty much, just saying, they are pretty much just, she's been treated really good her entire life, and having a G cup wouldn't hurt, especially with that, and having white and red hair wouldn't hurt, long silky, red and white hair, and yeah, that would definitely not hurt her. Chances of being super super popular in school. So yeah, she basically focused on her popularity instead of studies. So yeah, she is not the smartest. So yeah, I am really trying to apply her right now, but yeah, I'm basically being kind at this point. So yeah. Oh, I forgot to, switch slides. Sorry, guys. But yeah. Pretty much, she just, isn't the smartest. That's it. But yeah, she is the strongest by far, but not the smartest. Basically, if she went up to the smartest, to someone with an intelligence quirk, she basically the bronze, they're the brains, Like, Nezu and her would be the perfect team. He would be the information guy. She would be the literal armor. And, basically, she would be the literal sword and shield. So, yeah. Pretty much, deku is going to be really OP in this one, but not the brightest. So, yeah. Basically, an airhead. Yeah, that's something sorry I couldn't think of that at the start, but yeah. So yeah, she gets in with flying colors because of her strength scores, not because of her intelligence scores. I can say that for sure. But yeah. And since I'm the god of food, I basically, because I've assured that she was the smartest and strongest, but I just decided to make her, do things by herself. So yeah. Pretty much, I just decided to, control fate to allow her to make her own choices. Her actual own choices. So, yeah. Pretty much, she's not smart. And yeah. Sorry, I was not expecting it to be this long, but yeah. I'll go to the first day of school. Pretty much, Deku is coming into class, and everyone sees her and says, "Aren't you the kid who got a perfect score in the highest score ever recorded or ever might be recorded in UA history, but only in the physical exam. Physical or something like that. And she says, "Yeah, that's me." Basically, happily. She basically always has a cheery personality. And yeah, Deku pretty much just sits down in a random seat. I don't know which seat it would be, but yeah. And Aizawa comes into the class saying, Aizawa? Did I say? Sorry if I said Aizawa when I meant Ida. But yeah. Sorry, I'm not the best with names, so yeah. Pretty much, Aizawa says, "Shut up, class, we have to go outside to do this fitness exam." And the entire class says, "What? Why do we have to do a fitness exam? Didn't we have to do one to get into the school?" And Aizawa says, "Yeah, but this is a different one to test your skills to see if you're UA material." And the entire class is basically having a fit, except Deku, basically cheerily smiling. And Aizawa says, "Since you have the highest score in the fitness exams, the physical exams, you throw the ball first." And hands it to Deku. And basically, she chucks it as far as she could. And that is a distance. Basically, imagine being here. Imagine being on one side of the universe. It reaches the other side of the universe. Pretty much, she ends up hitting her dad in the head accidentally. And he says, "Ow, what the hell? Who threw that?" And basically looks at me, and I'm going to say, "Your problem. It wasn't me. It could be anyone from Earth, for all we know." It basically winks at him, and he basically says, "What mortal did that?" And basically is watching everyone on Earth at the same time, and sees his daughter with looks like she just threw a ball, and he says, "Really? You could have told me that." And I say, "Yeah, I know. I just felt like this would be a funner option, because you would not believe me if I actually did tell you." And he says, "How do you know that?" And I say, "I'm the fate after all." And he basically says, "Fair point." And he says, "So, when are you planning on getting an apprentice?" And I say, "When the time's right." And he's basically wondering what that means. And I basically just walk away from him. So yeah, I am one of the hardest people to find in that realm, but I basically hang around people that I know, gods I know. Well, I basically hang around the funniest people. Funniest people, like, if the funniest gods, basically, like, if I know something's that's going to happen, I'm probably just going to be there, basically watching and just laughing. So yeah. So pretty much she says, "Ooh, I'm throwing that a little too far." And Aizawa says, "Infinity? Wait, it's still going." It says infinity and beyond. Basically, she checked that to another dimension. So yeah, it's pretty much another dimension, heaven. So yeah. And Deku is pretty much just going to be saying, oops. And he's going to say, that's good. That's actually better than good. Somehow you chuck that to a different dimension. And she says, I did? Huh, that's neat. And basically, yeah. Basically, yeah, I basically say good job, basically shouting from like a building I'm just shouting from the rooftop and then just disappear. And everyone asks, what was that? And yeah, then Deku does the side to side jumps, goes infinity, because, well, she goes 9-9. She basically, yeah, makes it a crater in the ground, but it basically her score is 99999. Basically, like 200 more nines, and yeah, that's basically how far how many she did in in that time frame. So yeah, she blitzes the speed test. Basically, she went faster than the speed of light. So yeah, and she also in the strength test. Well, she only had to make some light to make her it squeeze her hand to make it make her grip stronger, but she already has a abundance of natural power. Basically, most legends, people, most demigods can lift how much is a hydra? I'm pretty sure most adult dragons are like thousands of pounds. So yeah, pretty much that. Plus growing a head every time you cut one off. So yeah, pretty much insane amount of power in a tiny body. But yeah, she pretty much just breaks it with she could have broke it with a glance too. The jumping test, she pretty much just flies. And is that it? Yeah. And yeah, Deku pretty much just shows off some of her abilities. So like seriously, and they're all impressed. She got first place, no questions asked. And pretty much once Mineta sees how much power she has, he says, "I wonder, I wonder how good she is in the and that's when when a literal ball comes out and hits him straight in the face, and everyone's wondering where that ball came from, but they're not going to question it. Pretty much. I was on the other side. I pretty much was sat there watching that whole event, and then just chucked it as hard as I could. Broke the sound barrier, of course, because I'm literally the god of fate. I can make anything go as fast or slow as I want. So yeah, pretty much. There's some perks with that, but yeah. And yeah, I'm probably going to have an integral part in this, series. So yeah, this is going to be pretty fun. And this is one of my longer videos in a while. So see you guys later. Like, subscribe, comment, and peace.